In a world where if there was a tier list of races, you would be at the bottom. Brought to you by the great minds behind Persona 3,
Stupe Ace Defective,
Persona 4,
My motorcycle!
and Persona 5.
We will take the treasure!
Mona already said that.
Comes Metaphor Refantasio, a fantasy steampunk world suffering from a power vacuum after the untimely assassination of the king. Now, with no heir in sight, the kingdom of Uchronia hosts an election where the people decide who they wish to succeed the late king. This is where we find our protagonist, Will, who is sent on a dangerous mission to assassinate the favourite to win, the hunky Lord Louis Squeerburn. Though Metaphor is a 10 out of 10 bona fide, chocolatey fudged, flawless, unparalleled, only beaten by Katawa Shoujo and Persona 3 portable female protagonist route masterpiece, this video is about the Brilliance and Metaphor's second arc, the Martira Arc, an arc filled with betrayal, comedy, tears, and cutie patooties. After discovering that the royal magic protects the frontrunner candidates from any form of harm, and encountering a Louise cuck who had bodies to spare, Will needed a solution. So he decided to enter the election in order to get close to the hunky, attractive Lord Louis and kill him once and for all. However, Will wasn't alone in this journey. He had an entourage. The first and oldest member being Gallica the Fairy. Gallica acts as Will's trusty guide through the harsh lands of Uchronia, while also acting as Will's Bluetooth speaker.
Right.
Music was the first magic this world ever knew, after all.
Our second member is Leon Strohl. Strohl is a ruined noble who joins Will as he suspects that the hunky, attractive, flawless Louise was the one responsible for the destruction of his village. Strohl's unparalleled strength has already shown Will that he is an indisposable member of his small team.
My name is Leon Strohl de Haliatus. My home and my family were taken from me. I am the last of my house, I am the last of my noble bloodline, and in the name of my people, I will strike you down where you stand!
The third is the closeted lesbian of the Knight's Order, Iceland Hulkenberg. Many moons ago, a young Louise cursed the prince, leaving him in an eternal coma. Hulkenberg, bearing witness to this, chooses to join our motley crew and avenge said prince, whom she feels responsible for. If Strohl is Will's sword, Hulkenberg is Will's shield, with her high defense and power to call the enemy's attention. Hulkenberg can take a lot of abuse while her friends regroup and focus on weak points.
My name is Iselin Pacelli Majal Hulkenberg. I am knight, I am commander, and last of the honor guard! Once more, I take up arms in my liege's name!
In order to make it to the next round of the election, Will needed two things: the head of a beast and a ride. The former was easy, with the notorious kidnapper Heismay preying on the lives of innocent children. Our crew thought that presenting his head would show them thinking outside the box, and allow them to stand out to the hunky, attractive, flawless, passionate Lord Louis. The beast was decided, however, they didn't have a ride. For this, Hulkenberg needed to call in an old favour from a friend, which consisted of threatening him until he joined the team.
Treason!
Mercy, please! Look, take my head if you must, milady, but leave the valiant runner alone.
Introducing Neurus. Neurus originally took the commission to create the greatest runner of all time for the prince himself. However, with the prince's current situation, Neurus has spent the last 12 years tinkering the runner to become the perfect vehicle for any situation. He's also the only one who can drive the thing, so he gets him by default! Despite the threats from Hulkenberg.
Nearly brought down the cathedral! Have I cared, you fool? It was bad enough when Luis did it the first time. That feckless, shameless old fool!
With everything in order, our heroes set out for Martira, the town terrorized by the evil Heismay. The beginning of this arc perfectly establishes the characters' goals, how they intend to work towards them, and the beginnings of a soon-to-be tight-knit group. Turns out sharing the desire to kill a man can really bring a group together. Our heroes decided to bask in the peaceful camping as they made their way to Martira, with the intention of bringing an end to the people's suffering. Until they are interrupted with a crazy battle between two candidates, Guido vs Gladel, the Sanctus Monk vs Luis Cuck 2. Since our heroes need to wear a mask of support for the attractive, flawless, passionate, unparalleled Lord Luis, they decide to assist Luis Cuck 2 and decimate Guido's forces, leaving at least 2 families fatherless.
We are truly a righteous group.
Guido was sent running, leaving our heroes to meet Gladel, who is accompanied by the celebrity singer, Juna, the latter of which seems to have captured the eye of the group's devoted knight.
Look here. However talented and famed a songstress she may be, you must remember to contain yourselves.
Songstress? Wait, is she the same Nidia lady who sang at the opening ceremony?
Aye, but that's... oh, blast it all, I can't take it anymore. I'd know the suspensions anywhere. You had Caden workshop on this, eh? Yes, those are quality parts and no mistake. Luis really shells out for his own.
By the crown, you can't be serious! She is Juno, the kingdom's greatest singer, the dulcet diva! Oh, this is preposterous! Surely I can't be the only one starstruck? Really? No one else wants to shake her hand? Well, then on behalf of this group, I suppose it falls to me.
This lesbianism is cut short by the entrance of the hunky, attractive, flawless, passionate, unparalleled, infallible Luis. Luis, being as perfect as he is naturally skeptical of Will's assistance to Gladel and his pocket idol. Will rightfully pledges his allegiance to the Count before continuing on his journey to Martira, Luis saying that he will have his eye on him in the future.
What's wrong, my friend?
I despise talking to Louise.
After days of travelling, our party finally made it to Martira. The nice fellow who gave our heroes the bounty in Grand Trad meets them in the town square with his trusted aide, Morris. Morris is a bit skeptical of Will and his friends, though Barden continues to vouch for them. Barden, being the fine gentleman that he is, shows our heroes a free stay at the inn, with the local delicacies to boot. With Hulkenberg seeming very excited for some reason.
Tis a unique texture, to be sure, but the taste is divine, exquisite.
You're completely serious, aren't you?
Now, Hulkenberg enjoying the sandworm meat isn't just a silly gag, but a piece of deep storytelling. With the prince being presumed dead after his attempted assassination, Hulkenberg left the capital, losing all purpose in life. Now, when you do this, you usually don't have access to much food. This, of course, leaves her palate devoid of any form of standards. It's oddly sad in a way, even if it is really funny. This comedy is beautifully juxtaposed with what is said next. The fact that Heismay has kidnapped and possibly murdered 15 children now.
Now this is the pride of the town. A fine sweetmeat made from the juvenile sandworm's entrails. You'll find this tastes as sweet as any dessert.
Tis altogether different from the roast. Why, tis succulent as a mellow fruit. Another marvel.
It's here where we are introduced to Lady Joanna, the head of Martira. She tells Will that she will endorse him as king if he brings Heismay to justice, even when endorsing an elder like Will would go against her religion. Her religion, Sanctism, believes that elden people like Will are descendants of the devil. That's why Will is the target of so much prejudice in his life. We have now established the natural game loop of metaphor. Will finds someone in need, helps them out, they endorse him for the crown, repeat, bringing his number up in the ranks.
That's right. I'll help anyone, no matter what.
Though at the time it would seem impossible for Will to gain any notoriety outside the other candidates,
Hey!
this mechanic is able to measure it in a way simple enough for anyone to understand. Our heroes pondered on possible ways to reach Heismay, who they discovered is held up in the sandworm's nest, to deter anyone from attacking him and bringing him to justice. This is because his hut is guarded by the monstrous sandworm, who would eat any adventurer who dared get by unseen. They were truly stumped. They might even just give up. Then, like a forgotten enemy of Sensei Wu, Morris swoops in to inform our heroes of a sandstorm coming in 3 days, during which the giant sandworm will be asleep, giving them the perfect opportunity to get the drop on Heismay.
Well, that's awfully convenient.
Henceforth, our heroes made their journey towards the sandworm's nest. Unbeknownst to them, they are soon to uncover a conspiracy at the deepest level of Martiran politics. When they reach the sandworm, they are shocked to find that it's still awake. And not only that, it's a human! They fought their hardest, but were swiftly swallowed by the sandworm. The only way out was through the back way. Turns out Morris's intel was too good to be true. No matter, freedom was just a hot skip and a shit away. Now, finally in the nest, they find a deep network of caves. Surely it'll take hours to find Heismay if he's as slippery as the reports on himself.
Name yourselves!
You mean this is Heismay?
I didn't expect a Chief.
He's a chief.
Never seen one in the flesh. We're but another lesser tribe the city dwellers don't care for.
Or they could just find him right at the beginning. And he's adorable! Excuse me. Remember, this Pookie Bear is a kidnapper. Okay, he may have a dead child, but that doesn't mean he's not a kidnapper. Though, they need a way to draw him out to explain his terrible actions.
Right then, let's get this plan underway. Heismay! Come out!
Show yourself!
Wow, that's some crazy echo.
Kind of nice getting to let loose. Long as I'm yelling anyway. Louise! You think you're so bloody untouchable, you bastard?
Hey! Big ugly sandwormy human thing! Even Hulkenberg wouldn't eat you!
Gasp! Rejected by Hulkenberg! The ravenous, all-devouring she-beast of the Knight's Order!
Is this what we've come to? Saying whatever's on our minds? Well, so be it.
Kanika! The sound of your wings keeps me up at night! Strohl, you think you're so smart! Kanika, please be nicer to me!
Hey! I'm your fairy guide, not your fairy godmother. We're on a mission here.
Ah! Enough! Stop this infernal din!
This is the best scene in the game, and I'm not even joking. Not only is it extremely funny, it also cements the chemistry that the cast have. Anyway, after our party kicks Heismay's rodent ass, he tells them that he isn't responsible for the kidnappings, since he couldn't possibly commit them at that large a scale as just one man. Though Will
Yes, he's the culprit.
isn't convinced. Heismay is brought back to Martira to plead his case. Though, in the dead of night, more people have gone missing. This has completely exonerated Heismay as he was with Neurus the entire time. Everyone is convinced.
The culprit is definitely still Heismay.
Are you daft, boy?
Well, Will's a little slow. After surprising Morris with the information that they are in fact still alive and not eaten by the giant sandworm, Heismay hears something while explaining his situation to the authorities, and he exits, leaving Will holding the bag. Will finds Heismay in the castle outskirts, with Barden unintentionally in tow. Turns out Heismay heard the cries of children, which Barden states is impossible as Lady Joanna is childless, which can only mean one thing.
Heismay isn't the killer after all?
Are you just figuring that out now?
Barden shows our cast of characters into a passageway into the castle catacombs, where they find a bunch of kidnapped children. Next to Morris? Morris goes on about needing to feed the beast, which means Morris has been using these children as food. Heismay sees this with disgust, stepping forward to give Morris a piece of his mind.
This is why I stand here now. I ran from my past and turned away from my pain. You prey on innocent lives. Your sin will be repaid. Yet I cannot condemn you alone. Not when I could not see past my own suffering. Not when I locked myself away to be alone with my pain. I am Heismay Noctul. I believe the Arc of Life depends not upon birth. By these hands, soiled or sinless, I fight!
Heismay awakens to the thief archetype, using his heart as a megaphone to quite literally speak from the heart. It's a metaphor. No longer shackled by the chains of his own grief, Heismay has pledged to fight for what's right. Finally, someone who doesn't want to slime out Luis. The first order of business is to rescue the children, who will no doubt perish if left in the clutches of Morris. Heismay himself isn't the strongest fighter, nor is he the most offensive, and he lacks the well-rounded nature of Will. You may be cute and everyone else loves you, but it's gonna take a lot more to make me... That's right, Heismay's acrobatic nature makes him almost impossible to hit. His addition to the party shows the players how a full frontal assault isn't always the best strategy in battle. Bravo, Vince Gilligan. The kidnappings taking place underneath the castle opens up a world of questions, the biggest of which being if Lady Joanna is involved or not. They can't find out since she's now missing. With Heismay's exhaustion and the children needing further assistance, our heroes call it a day and decide to meet back up with Barden. They arrived in Martira looking only for a simple bounty, and now it seems our heroes need to topple a local government from feeding children to some mysterious beast at the bottom of the castle. They went hunting for a monster, but ended up finding an ally. This is one of the reasons why this arc is so brilliant. It's able to defy expectations without feeling artificially set. Though the pivot from bounty hunting to government conspiracy should be jarring, it's able to use the kidnapped children as an anchor of consistency that keeps you engaged from beginning to end. Our heroes stealthily made their way through the castle underground to track down Morris, though around every corner they are haunted by a monstrous beast shrouded in shadows, with Morris always just out of reach.
Honestly, who designed this interior? Did Lady Joanna have a mandate on puzzle rooms or something?
It's best not to think about it.
After barely escaping the monster with their lives, our heroes make it up the lift to finally reach the inner rooms of the castle, where they find Morris, next to Lady Joanna! This is where they are swiftly dropped again into the dungeon. Oh, they were right there, man! After fighting their way through the dungeon, they reach the top once again to find Morris and Lady Joanna are no longer there. When they enter her room, they find a destroyed painting of Lady Joanna pregnant, which doesn't make sense because she is childless. I'm sure there is a logical explanation for this.
Apparently, Joanna was unmarried, never formally bound in marriage to the father of her child. The traditionalists always say mixed blood children are abominations, terrible omens. And superstitions like that tend to carry a lot more weight in the countryside. Joanna brushed it off. Said it was ridiculous and irrational. She was about to announce the child's birth. And then tragedy struck. The old woman. The nanny they'd hired. She killed the boy in his crib.
Yeah, so in Uchronia, you know how elders are considered the worst race in the land? Well, hybrids are considered to be just as bad. I'm sorry I'm using Maria as an example. I know she's the sweetest girl ever. Joanna's child was a hybrid and was murdered in cold blood by her maid. Said maid was able to walk free for her crime and was deemed a hero by Joanna's family, and the child's father was subsequently banished as a result. This is a marvel of Metaphor's writing, because it alludes that events like this are not uncommon in the world. Uchronia sucks. A lot. However, that's exactly why this place needs to change. Moments like this give the player the desire to make the world a better place, and it shows why restoring the rightful prince isn't a want, it's a need. Knowing this, it gives us a good idea of what's waiting for us past the next door. Joanna, completely deranged and at the end of her rope, has nothing left to hide. She completely breaks and laments about how she despises the world. Though she seems to be in high spirits, claiming that God gave her child back. That's when it's revealed. The demon baby. With the rescue of the children, the baby has gone hungry, leaving one option left. At this point you realize, all the children that were kidnapped, this is the last thing they saw before their untimely demise. They probably died feeling scared and begging for their lives. Now you want nothing more than to destroy the demon baby. The battle against the demon baby is a hard one, but they are able to slowly whittle down its health to a point where it may just...
Oh, my darling, Mama's here. Mama will always be here for you. Here, take all the magic I have. She healed the demon baby?
That's right, Gallica. She healed the demon baby. Though newly invigorated, the monster is no match for our heroes, and it falls. Joanna doesn't like this one bit, but Heismay is ready to give her words of wisdom.
Not long ago, I too had a child. But I couldn't protect him. It was in a nearby village. Some paripus started a riot, and my son was caught in the middle of it. They beat him until he was barely recognizable. Even bloodied and battered, he clung to life. But his body was broken. He couldn't move. And not a single person came to his aid. He was a Ujif, and to them, that's all he was. But he was a helpless child, left to die in a pool of his own blood. By the time I finally got to him, it had been hours. It was too late.
I had no idea.
Look with your eyes and your heart. You can ignore it no longer. You loved your child, not this creature. And the child you loved is gone.
If I could have sacrificed my life instead, I swear I would have done it. I loved my son with all of my heart.
I know. Nobody could ever deny you that. And now, the nightmare is over.
In the end, Joanna agrees to present her head for your political campaign. This ends up working in Will's favour, as presenting a Sanctus lady would undoubtedly catch Luis's eye. This arc's ending is the main reason why it's my favourite. Lady Joanna and Heismay are shown to be two sides of the same coin. Both lost their children too early, and both reacted in similar yet different ways. They both let the grief of their loss control them. Heismay choosing to self-exile himself inside the sandworm's nest, and Joanna devolving into insanity, latching onto the first thing that resembles what she lost. Through this shared grief, Heismay is able to pull Joanna back from insanity and make her confront her actions, and in doing this, Heismay is able to understand his own grief and work through it on his own, eventually choosing to join Will in his mission to kill Luis. I don't think any other arc in Metaphor is able to match the Martira arc with its balance of comedy and tragedy. Both these things are ever present but don't take away from one another. And this is only the second arc. There are another 5 that are almost as good as this one after it, but I don't think any are able to reach its quality. With the Martira incident now solved, and with the addition of Heismay to the team, our heroes begin their journey to Brilhaven. Though this ordeal is over, they'll have many more to follow as they plan to fight for their life to rid the land of Luis once and for all.
Here are some ground rules, Heismay. On Idol's Day, the bathrooms are mine. Don't put anything in the secret bookshelf, because I will read it. And you're responsible for any hair that may get in my bunk.
Don't worry, I'll just take the roof.